Hey everyone, it's Melody, and we have a really fun project today. This is everything I've used in the project, and I want to let you guys know I tried to record this. I made one already. No, I lied. I made two already. So I'm going to show you how these, and I recorded doing this one, but I recorded it last night using daylight from my solar tubes as it was getting dark. And then I went to edit my video and it was horrible. I'm like, I can't do this, I have to redo it. And I'm like, I don't want to redo it all. And then spend hours editing and doing all that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to record putting it together now. And then I'm gonna keep this video up with your chat. And then I'm going to try to edit this to cut it down for those that just want to know how to put the file together. All right, got that? So these are working gumball machines. Although this one, I'm adding another piece, I think, of, this one. I might add another piece of craft board. So this opens up here. You guys see this? So you turn the handle, and sometimes it gets stuck. So I have to turn it another way, or shake it a little, I mean. It really does work. This was my test one. Oh no, oh, there it goes. See? Did you see that fall down there? It really does work. It's just because I'm in live video. Okay. Let me eat the M&M. I have to eat them so my dog doesn't get them. Here's this one. I saw it fall down there. Now it's stuck. Let me turn it the other way. It's stuck. These are refillable too. Here we go. There we go. Now it's getting stuck. Why is it getting stuck? I think because it's getting, there we go. Okay, so it's a shaker gumball machine. You have to shake it. There, see? Now there's two. It does work. And it's refillable. So you can totally refill it with this up here. And you can put that back down there. And it has, I don't want to drop these on the floor. It has this on the inside. So if you don't have mini M&Ms, you can just make this like this. I also have a card that is flat, that has it's not a working gumball machine. It just looks like a gumball machine. And then this is all clear. And then you'll see this through it. This is a Cricut font that costs $4.99. This is a font I had to buy. I was like, I don't own that. I kind of thought I owned all of them, but I didn't. So I had to pay $2.50 for it because I have premium access, so you get 50% off. I also have this file without this page. I did print and cut, and I'll tell you why I did print and cut in a minute. So for the people who support my channel on Patreon and are members of my YouTube channel, get 4 of these files. And there's actually more coming too that's a little different. That's also a gumball machine. So you're gonna get this as it is with the happy birthday. You'll get one without the happy birthday, because one, it's curved text. You cannot use curved text on an iPad. And it costs money to buy this font if you don't own it. It's the all mixed up font from Cricut, and then these are just circles that I had. I matched up the circles to match the M&M colors. If you want to change this at all, once you get the file, you can unflatten, and then you'll be able to change it. I made it print because I did not want to work with the little holes in between the P's and the A and that Y and work, you know what I mean? I would be missing those, and I didn't want to do vinyl and all those colors. And I think the print and cut just works so much easier. How do you become a member of my YouTube channel? There's a link below or right under the video. It'll say join. It's $4.99. YouTube makes it. All the people with a badge are members. You can see Bobby has a little green Cricut badge, and Cece has one you can see right there. And they can use special Cricut emojis I created, or Melody Lane emojis I created. And then there's other perks too. Okay, so another thing I want to warn you about, I don't know if you can see, this is foil poster board. And you can see like little marks, and you can kind of see the glue, and you can see the indentions I put on it with my nails. So if you're going to use that, just be careful of the foil poster board, but I really love the look of the foil poster board. And I'll show you what this, so like when it's, I filled this one up to the top, but you can see the happy as you start eating some of them, and at the bottom it'll say birthday. So you can unflatten these, and you can add letters and things to say anything you want. You don't have to use this font. You can delete that. You can create your own font and do that. I had to do print and cut on another piece of paper because this is 5x7, so it's 7 by 11, 7 tall by 11 wide. So you can't do print and cut that big. So I had to do that, and I think that's it. I haven't made an envelope yet. The envelope has to be pretty thick because this part here is pretty thick. Okay, so I have all the supplies I needed out, but you can change some of the supplies. I use chipboard. You get 2 layers of this chipboard. You glue them together. Somebody asked about foam board. If you don't have a maker, you cannot use this chipboard. This is Cricut chipboard. And on this Cricut chipboard, I cut these little pieces that will cover up the chipboard and go around, have yellow to go around this area. I can show you. On this one, I was test cutting. I did not make it quite thick enough, but it's pretty good. So the sides are completely, thank you for becoming a member, Freedom Reese. So the sides are completely covered, and the bottom is covered too. So you don't see the chipboard anywhere. And so if you do not have a Cricut Maker, you cannot cut the Cricut Maker chipboard. These are sized for the chipboard. I did cut out 2 pieces of Cricut craft foam, and it did seem like it was the same thickness, but I don't know how it'd work being, it was a lot more flimsier. So what I think is, if you have to use the craft foam, you could cut an extra one of these out of craft board or foam board. No, craft board or cardstock. All of this white, I used craft board. It's the Cricut craft board. I did not use cardstock for this. You could probably use 110-pound paper. I thought we better use something a little thicker than just regular cardstock because of the weight of the chipboard and the weight of the M&Ms. I wanted something that would, you know, stand up nicely. And I don't think regular cardstock would work. So if you put cardstock between foam board, that might work. Or you can use craft board and just cut like 10, maybe 12 of them and just glue them all together to make it a little thicker. You want it thick enough so the M&Ms fit inside there, okay? So I use the scoring tool on this, the scoring wheel. I used, this is Cricut poster board, and it scored it right here. We can go ahead and bend that. And, oh, actually, we didn't use the scoring wheel for this one, but I can see it. We just use the scoring. It folds so much better with the scoring wheel. This one was done with the scoring wheel. And I had Callie cut this out for me real fast, and I didn't even think of that. She used the Cricut Explorer, not the Maker. But I cut this out on the Maker. So this is going to be harder to fold. I should have cut this one out. If you have questions, please put them in all caps. The scoring wheel scores this so much better. Oh, I'm like, why is that? I have something down there. Okay, now this is craft board, but I printed on it. This is actually my digital paper I have coming out as soon as I can get it finished. I've been so busy. The paper has been ready for a long time. Oh, I do have a scoreboard. I could put it on the scoreboard too. The link to the Gumball files, you have to be a member of the channel or a Patreon. So the link that I shared, it will only work if you're, because it's for members only. It'll only work if you're a member. Okay. So let's put these back. Let's get started. I'm using May's glue. I also have transparent thread. This thread I'm going to put at the top. I didn't use transparent before. I just used twine because that's what I had. That is to pull this out. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to pull that out if you want to refill it. Shirley, then the Patreon, I posted in the Patreon, on Patreon for the patrons. You have the file. If you should have gotten an email every time I post. So I'm just going to glue these together, and I want to make sure these match up well. One time I had them turned the other way and they were not perfect. See, they're not perfect that way. I don't know why or what the difference is. Okay. And this one is popping up some of the cardstock. So I'm going to glue that back down. get me the wipes. I keep getting glue all over my fingers, and that's why that blue one looks so messed up. Thank you. So I'm just putting glue down. I'm using the art glitter glue I get from May Made It. There's a link in the description below for all the products I used and for alternate products too, like the foam. And
they're having buffering issues now.
huh. Oh, it's on the wrong. Now I'm just like pressing this to make sure it's all even. We want it to be completely even. And this one is not. Thinking I didn't put enough glue. Okay, I'm tearing it apart. I'm adding more glue this time. See, I never had these problems when I was just recording and not doing live. It's okay if the glue squirts out the edges, because then I just wipe it on the edge. And for some reason, I just think that helps it. There we go. Okay, now we got to let this dry. Bobby, yay, you're setting up your maker. Okay, now we're going to put the Pac-Mans together. So in the file, for those of you that get the file, there are things that are this color. This is for chipboard. All the white things, I cut out a craft board. And then the original file is the red Gumball machine, but you can use any color you want. It doesn't matter which way the Pac-Mans face. And then I'm going to put glue down this white circle. You know what I'm going to do? First, I'm going to glue. You could use adhesive foil instead of this poster board. That was my original thinking. So if you do that, just make sure you cut out a piece of paper or cardstock or craft board for it to fit onto. So you may have to cut out extra pieces. Thank you, Lynn. Welcome, Karen. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna let that sit. Okay, now this is the handle that goes on up here. We're gonna glue these together. This is really easy and fast to do once you get started. Oh, I didn't have to put glue on both of those sides. Oh, hold on. I forgot. I put the glue on here and forgot to put this on. So then we're going to put the circle on there. And I go around the edge like this so I know that the circle is even around on there. And now we have to make sure this is even. And this has way too much glue on it. So we glued those two pieces together. I'm going to put glue on here. Okay, press that on, make sure it's all even, and I'm just going to let it sit there. And we have to do the same thing. Did anybody see where the other piece of this went? Oh, I have another one over here. So all the chipboard pieces, except for just this circle here, have to be glued together. We need 2 layers of chipboard except for this little circle. And I'm like touching it like this to make sure it's all even. This piece will fit up in here. We do not glue those together. Remember, this piece is the piece we pull away to refill it. Okay, now we're going to put the string on this piece. This white piece goes on top of there, but I'm going to glue the string underneath it. And this is going to be hard because it's so invisible. Maybe you don't want to use invisible string. Okay, maybe you just want to use regular thread. Callie, can you get me some thread? Like white thread. The reason I say this is this invisible string or thread, they're never gonna see. To pull it up, you're not gonna find it. Like, it's really hard to see. Thank you. So at least we will see the white thread. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a few drops. Well, actually, I gotta put the white paper on it. Doesn't have to be very long, because my idea is they could just take a hook or something and pull it out like this. So then this white piece matches that piece. And I'm doing the same thing like I did before. Make sure that's even on top. I'm going to cut off the extra string. And I'm going to let that dry. These pieces are also for this. The longer piece goes on the top and the shorter piece goes underneath, so you don't see the chipboard. So it's to cover that up. Oh, Lynn, that's a great tip. She says paint the tip of the transparent with nail polish so you can see it. But I don't think you'll be able to see it once it's on there, or if you give the card to somebody, they'll never even know it's there. So I think you really should use thread that you can see. Okay. there's not a whole lot more to do. Here is this. I'm not going to glue this on yet. I've learned my lesson because on every other single one, I glued that on too soon. We have acetate. So that's really hard to see too. Thanks, Bobby. There are 2 pieces of acetate. One goes on top and one goes, whoops, remember I took that top off. One goes on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and glue a piece. They're exactly the same size. Oh, you know what? I'm not putting that on first. I forgot this piece. I'm going to put this piece on first, because that will give just a little bit more layer inside to give the M&Ms more room. So craft board. That stick on there. And then I'm going to glue the acetate on top of the chipboard, top of the craft board. So I'm only putting glue around this area, not any lower. I'm going to wipe this off, make sure there's no glue. And then I'm going to turn this over, and I want to make sure this will fit inside here. So I did have to separate that a little to make it a complete circle. You don't want these glued too far in and then this not fit, because I did that a little bit on this one. It was really hard to get in and it's not perfect. So while that glue is drying, I'm just going to leave this piece in. Okay. Oh, so now we have this piece of chipboard and this piece. Welcome, Danielle. I'm going to glue these together. And I am going to then turn it over, put glue there, and I'm going to glue this in the center as close as I can do with my eye into my Pac-Man circle. See, the other side is the Pac-Man. This is what will make the M&Ms will fall in here, and then we're going to turn this. Okay, and then I'm going to glue a circle on top of this to cover up all of that glue. You know what? That is like really far off. I'm going to push that back down. I didn't put the acetate far enough down. It was sticking up way over here. So let me put this piece back in. I want to make sure it's closed enough. will work. And I'm going to put glue around the circle. All the way around. And cover it with the solid, well, it's not solid, a hollow circle. I'm going to wipe the glue off. Yeah, if you were going to mail this, I would put it in a bubble envelope. Okay. Now we can glue this piece on. Make sure you don't glue this door shut, although there's nothing in there. I should have put glue on this instead of on that. See, now I have all that glue there. Then I'm going to let that glue dry. Do not put the handle on this yet. That's going to go like that, but don't do it yet. Make sure this is completely dry. Okay, now when this is dry, you want this completely dry. We're going to put this inside here. I'm going to hold it over that, lay it down, and then we're going to glue this on here. It looks like. So we're just going to let this dry without touching it too much. Did I just mess it up? No. Does anyone have any questions so far while we're letting this dry? Actually, I can, let's finish this piece. Thank you, Charlotte. So I'm going to put glue on the edge here and just cover it so it looks nice and neat and no chipboard showing. The Cricut Air can cut this, but not the chipboard. You'll have to use a substitute for the chipboard. And I did talk about some other things instead of chipboard in the beginning of the video. So if you watch the beginning after we're done, that might help. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this on here. We're gonna make another mess again, I think. Today, everything is causing a mess. I am going to put glue inside here, and we're gonna cover that with white craft board. You can just use cardstock if you like, but I just cut everything white out of craft board. So we're just putting glue in there and putting this inside. And I'm pushing it down to the bottom. I'm going to cut this off. I don't know if that's glued well. I add a little more glue. We're not putting the white paper inside the edges here. Now I'm going to put this on the outside edge. And I made these too long just to make sure I had enough. If you hear snoring, that is my dogs. They have not been on a golf cart ride yet. You can put the inside piece on before the acetate. I did on the first one. Okay, so we have that one. Now let's do this one. You don't have to do it in this order to where you put the acetate on. You could do it before we put any of this on the front. Most of my house is a craft room except for the bedrooms and bathrooms and kitchen. I'm just wiping any extra glue off. Callie, can you hand me those paper towels? They're right there. Thank you. Just wiping out the inside of this, making sure it's all clear. Okay, I think we're almost ready. So this is how the mechanism works, but I didn't wait for the glue to dry. Or I didn't have enough glue. Gluing things on the metallic poster board is harder than regular things. And that will fit in there. Oh, I forgot to do this side. See? All right, let's do that side. If you guys are on Facebook, in my group, Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane, there is going to be a special maker event. It's celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Cricut Maker. And if you're asking me how much a Cricut Maker is, you might want to enter that event. You might want to go in that event on Facebook. It's going to be a 12-hour event. I probably will also be doing some videos that day, live videos on YouTube that day, if you're interested. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that bell, because I will be going live on Facebook and I will be going live on YouTube. That is for next Tuesday. Okay, that's covered. Let's go ahead and cover the yellow. And I also thought about doing this instead of solid color gumball machines. What about pattern paper? What do you guys think about that? So I'm going to do the edge with this. As you can see, this is too long because on the blue one I made it too small, and the red one, and I think the red one I tried to piece it. On the blue one, I think I just left it too long or too short. Yeah, you can see a tiny bit of the chipboard right there in the end. So in my file, I just made it longer. I'd rather have it too long than too short because we can cut that off. Now the Cricut poster board is white core. So I have a yellow marker. This is just a Sharpie. Just to go around the edge so you don't see the white core. See how that's white? Doesn't look real white in the video, but it is. It's white. Okay. All right, now let me check the pieces we have left. That one goes to that one. We have this piece that's finished. We have acetate and we have another circle. Oh, and we have this piece that goes on the top. We could put that on right now. You don't have to have this piece. I just thought it made it look more like a gumball. Okay. Oh, and the happy birthday. Where did that go? Maybe it's in this card. So this goes in here, and it goes with like a little frame around it. So I'm going to put glue on here. Okay, that looks right. You can see that through the card. So now all we have to do is glue this onto here. Do not put glue on this piece. This piece is the mechanism that will make the M&Ms fall from up here, go down there, and then we're going to turn it and it falls down there. Okay, so let's put glue. Now, for those people who've watched this from the beginning, do you think this looks hard to put together? Do you think you can do it? Hi, Glenda. The 12-hour event is on Facebook in my group, Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane. And I line this up right on the bottom of the card. And just let it sit until it dries a little bit. So now, if you didn't have M&Ms, the card would look like this. But we're gonna add the M&Ms. So I got this M&Ms, mini M&Ms, not big ones. I don't think the big ones will fit in the, they're like, this is regular size. I don't think they will fit. This was at the checkout, and then I sent my son to go buy more because this whole thing here almost fills this whole thing up. So you don't have very many left. And because I was making more, I needed to get more. So they were buy one, get one free, and this was $3 and something. This one I think was $1.99. I do have links below to the M&Ms if you don't have them in your store. From Amazon. They're more expensive on Amazon, so I would just get them at the grocery store or Walmart or something. We got these at Publix at the grocery store. Maybe they're cheaper in Walmart. Maybe you can find them in the dollar store. Oh, Tic Tacs might work. So I'm just gonna pour these in. Oh, and they're coming out the top. So I'm gonna put my top piece in. Oh my gosh. So let's put this piece at the top. There we go. I'm just going to put a little in. So now we're going to put the other piece of acetate on. I'm going to wipe it with a disinfectant wipe and then a paper towel. Okay, we're gonna put glue around the edge here. We're gonna put this on. Glue all over, because I have it all over my fingers. And then we're going to glue this piece on top of that. So more glue. And then we gotta let this dry. I was letting things dry longer than I am today for the live video. So you need to let this completely dry before even closing it. Oh, red hots would be cool. Maybe we can make a heart-shaped one for Valentine's Day instead of a circle. So here's the front. Should we see if it works? Oh, I should have put a white piece in the back. This is the only one I've made with a printed back piece. I should have put white in there or black. Look, 2 of them fell down. How cool is that? The glue isn't even completely dry on this, so I'm going to be careful. But it works. That one works. I just had to move it a little. Isn't that cool? Do you guys like this one on this paper? I just wanted to try something different. Now, are there any questions? Yeah, there is no glitter in glitter glue. It's just called art glitter glue. It's a really nice glitter to use if you wanted to sprinkle glitter onto something. You know, you glue it down and sprinkle glitter, but I don't use it with glitter. Yeah, maybe I can make one with a heart shape. I can do that, right? I also have some other ones coming, and I have it just flat that won't have any things in it, but then the inside kind of looks like gumballs, you know? It'll still be see-through. So if you support my channel on Patreon or is a member, they call it now, instead of sponsors, they're calling it membership, to my channel, you already have these files. Yeah, I didn't even think of putting white. I mean, I did think of it earlier, and then I didn't. I forgot. I could put a marker in there and color it black. Because a gumball machine, you wouldn't see the wall behind it. Yeah, this is why I didn't have a video on Tuesday. Well, one is the digital mystery box. I had to make a video for that. And there's so many things coming, the event and stuff. And then I was designing this and I was cutting these out on Tuesday, and it just didn't happen. And then there's 24 hours of crafts in there too. So that's why there wasn't a video on Tuesday. So next Tuesday is an event for the anniversary of the Maker. It's been 1 year since the release of the Maker. So there's going to be an event in my Facebook group, and I'm also going to do some live videos on YouTube and Facebook in my group. And I don't know that I have permission to tell you more. There's things you're going to like and you're going to want to join. Doesn't cost nothing. I don't know what a shaker button is. But this can be, if you don't want to do like a refillable thing and make it more solid, you totally could do that and make it not refillable. You could put, well, you could probably close this off and make it so you can't get anything out and just make it like a circle. So it's not a shaker card. There's another one. It works. Isn't that fun? I love it. My Facebook group, Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane. I'll put a link to it. And then there's an event in that group. I'll put a link to the event too. And I will also tell you about the event on Tuesday, or the information that's going to be in the event. So if you're not on Facebook, you'll get all the information also. It's also on my Facebook page, and I can add a community post for everyone to see on my YouTube page about the event with the links. I'll do that in a little bit. Oh, and here's the red one for the ones that just joined. This is the first one I did. With these, I used foil poster board on these. This one, I just did regular poster board. The time on Tuesday is...
10.
Yeah, but I think it's actually supposed to be 12 to 12. Because it's, I don't know, I'm doing it 10 to 10. Because I might not be staying up till midnight. Faye, are you a member of my channel? If you're a member of my channel, your name will be in green and you'll have a little badge. And you'll notice some of the badges are different because they grow the longer you are a member. Yeah, 10 to 10 Eastern. I gave, at the beginning of this video, I talked about cutting it on other machines besides the Maker. So as soon as we're done, you can rewatch the beginning because I do talk a lot about that. Oh, that's a good question. So if they run out of candy, I made these with a little string on the top, and then you can refill it on the top here. I totally say get one of these because even when this was empty, I refilled it with the M&Ms in the bag so I could easily pour it in. So you refill it on the top. And then put that top back on there. When you're a member on YouTube, you get all of my files, which are hundreds of my files. This is one of the files, this little bench for the blades. So you get hundreds of files. You also get in one of my Facebook groups where I teach, I'm going to be teaching how to do live video, or how I do my live video with the software that I use. I'm going to be starting that, I think, early next week. So you get that, and you get a discount on my digital paper, which I do have a set of digital paper coming out soon. So you get 60% off of it. This is my digital paper. If you click on the join button, it tells you what you get. You also get the badges and emojis. Like you get these little cricket emojis. Actually, I like using the regular poster board better because the foil poster board, you can see like I can poke it with my nail and it gets an indentation in it. I like the look of the foil, but the regular is easier. For Saturday, I was thinking about teaching how to make an envelope for this. I haven't decided yet what it will be, but I was thinking I didn't make an envelope for this, and it's so thick, it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to put a few score lines in there. Yeah, I would try to make a thicker envelope. I'm going to try to make one, and I would put it in a bubble wrap envelope, to be honest. Yeah, totally bubble wrap. All right, are there any more questions? Thanks, Sheila. Well, on Saturday videos, I try to keep them all in Design Space. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. It's been over an hour. Oh yeah, you might not want to mail the chocolate in the summer. Maybe in winter. Charlotte, Patreons of $1 and up get the file. It may change sometime that it's $2 and up, but the $1 ones won't lose any of the files that have already been shared. It would be just to newer files if and when I change that. So if you support me on Patreon for $1 or more, you do get the files as of right now. And always for this and these cards that are already shared. So Saturday, I will have a video at 11 a.m. Eastern on Design Space. So I will see you guys there. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. Yeah, the video will restart. It will always be right here on my channel. Thanks. You might have to refresh.